川西の瀬口木の延べ橋滝山うぐいすの森包みが滝ただひらの一の鳥うねよ山下ささべ甲府大時は大美容金口
We'll launch a stealth nuclear warhead at JD.
I thought you couldn't control the nuke with GW.
We can't. We've taken over their guns and heavy weapons, but the WMDs are still under JD's control. That's where Rex comes in. I know where to find nukes they don't control. Vamp, how long until Rex is ready?
All that's left is the final check. We've identified JD's location through GW, an abandoned 20th century satellite orbit disguised as debris.
A clever place to hide.
Satellite orbit.
With a stealth nuke, there's no need to worry about the Patriots intercepting it. By the time they realize what's happening, it'll all be over.
Once JD, the core AI is destroyed, GW's priority will rise to 1, and all the systems under JD's control will then be ours to command. Now go, prepare our haven.
Yes, boss. What the devil is this?
The video feed from the Mark II cuts off here.
Haven. Yeah. Drebin was saying something about that.
In the beginning, the Patriot system was controlled by 4 AIs, with JD at the top. One of those AIs was GW. The Patriots thought it had been destroyed, but Liquid was able to use it as cover to slip inside the system.
GW. I knew I'd heard that name before.
Yeah. GW was one of the Patriot Cell AIs. It was installed on Arsenal gear. Emma's worm should have put it permanently out of commission. But Liquid somehow recovered and repaired it. I'm guessing JD must be unable to recognize GW, even though it's inside the Patriot system. It's a blind spot. GW was written off as lost while it was still tied in. Using it let Liquid interfere with the AI from the inside. He made contact under the guise of Big Boss's genetic code. Even the AI threat detection system was fooled.
Haven on the network. Free from oversight by the Patriots' AIs.
It all makes sense now. That's why they made Arsenal go berserk 5 years ago. GW was on board.
Where is this Haven? Where is their base?
Don't worry. Mei Ling is using the position of the Mark II's last transmission to predict the course of Liquid's ship. It's only a matter of time before we find him.
But that's not all Liquid said. being ready.
Rex. You mean Shadow Moses? It's Campbell.
The U.S. military's systems are all in Liquid's hands now. The regional systems have all been shut down. Guns are falling silent across the Earth. It's the first total ceasefire in human history.
How's the White House responding? The public?
The president has yet to make an official announcement. But the media is starting to pick up on it.
The information's gonna be controlled anyway.
Not this time. The war economy is ground to a complete halt. It's tough to play down a crisis of these proportions. War economy-related stocks are already going into a free fall.
They must be shitting themselves in the White House right about now.
In any case, America had better sleep soundly while she still can. Liquid's insurrection is about to begin. The first thing he'll do is try to destroy the system the Patriots built to control the U.S.
He's already taken the system.
No. Supreme authority still resides with JD, which the Patriots still command. Which is why Liquid plans to launch a nuclear strike on JD in its orbit.
But Liquid only controls SOP, and SOP only controls guns and small firearms. Unless he gains supreme authority, Liquid can't use America's nukes and ballistic missiles. So how's he gonna launch this strike?
Good question. The U.S. converted its nuclear arsenal to reliable replacement warheads 2 years ago.
RRWs.
Yes. The core of the RRWs is now completely ID controlled by the SOP system. You'd need supreme authority from JD itself to control them, and they can be shut down remotely in case of an emergency.
All the old nukes were pulled out of service when they deployed the replacements.
If Liquid can't use the nukes, then what's his plan?
That's it. He's going to use Rex.
What?
Rex was scrapped before the Sons of the Patriot system was implemented.
Of course. The railgun.
Indeed. Rex's railgun can launch a stealth nuclear warhead into space unconstrained by the system. In short, it's the only device they have that is able to launch a nuke. Liquid's going to use it to kill JD and deliver the coup de grace to the Patriots' reign.
Campbell, where's Rex now?
I think you know. A long-forgotten base in U.S. territory outside the Patriots' control. The place where Liquid made his debut, his monument, off the Alaskan coast in the Fox Archipelago.
Shadow Moses Island.
If Liquid destroys JD, and his GW assumes total control over the system, he'll have the world at his fingertips. And no one will be able to stop him. Not even the Patriots. You are the only ones who can save us now. Snake, I'm counting on you Defeat Liquid and put an end to his insurrection.
Enough is enough, Snake. You can't take any more of this.
I'm not dead yet.
That's not what I mean. You can't beat Liquid. He's got the Patriots' own control system on his side. Not only are weapons useless, but the US military is in shambles. And even if it weren't, Liquid's got enough men and machines to match it. Things can't get any worse. Face it, Snake. We've lost.
Otacon.
We never stood a chance.
It's not about winning or losing. No. We started this. And it's our duty to finish it. Sonny.
No! Jack can't go. He's not ready yet. He needs to rest.
Let me go, Sonny.
No. Your dialysis isn't done yet.
Snake. He's not ready yet.
Snake. I'll be fine. From now on, I'm living my life by my own will. I won't live a proxy life, a slave to someone else's will.
I'm a shadow, one that no light will shine on. As long as you follow me, you'll never see the day.
You and I are both just pawns in this proxy war. But once this is over, we will have our freedom.
Run.
I'll release you. It's the only way I'll ever be free.
Raiden, 5 years ago. That's not what I meant.
I've got nothing to lose.
Don't be an idiot. You know you've got someone to protect.
It was never going to work out for me. It even rained the day I was born.
You've got it all wrong. You were the lightning in that rain. You can still shine through the darkness.
The lightning.
Raiden, Look at me. Do you see this? I have no future. In a few months, I'm going to be a weapon of mass destruction. You have a family.
I have no family. I have nothing. I have always been alone. Always. Don't leave me here. Alone.
This is my fight. My destiny.
Dr. Emmerich?
Mei Ling.
I got the results back. It's official. He's on Shadow Moses Island. We lost Metal Gear Mark II's signal along the way, but the ship was headed in the direction of Shadow Moses. This is a picture of the island taken by a civilian imagery satellite. The sea line is rising due to global warming. Have you heard that the entire Fox archipelago is about to slip into the ocean? The surrounding islands have already been evacuated.
Liquid's arrival there can only mean one thing.
He is going to use Rex.
That's how it looks from here. All the Metal Gears after Rex were embedded with system IDs.
Then what about Rex? What did Washington do with it?
The nuclear disposal facility on Shadow Moses hasn't been touched since the incident.
That was 9 years ago.
The president of Armstech and the DARPA chief were killed, and the Secretary of Defense was arrested. By the time the Shadow Moses incident was over, there wasn't a single person left there who knew what took place. It was as if nothing had ever happened. The data was either falsified or erased, so no traces would be left behind. We were exiled to desk jobs for the same reason. Rex and the nukes should still be where they were 9 years ago. Untouched.
A forsaken island. A haven.
Well, I'd say it's more like a forgotten island. And it's sinking too.
I thought I'd never go back.
It'll take me a while to get there, but I'll be backing you up from aboard the Missouri. She's the only ship in the fleet still able to move, since it was decommissioned before the system was put in place. And Hawaii's not that far away. Otacon, you're not wearing your glasses anymore.
Oh, yeah. I switched to contacts.
We rendezvous at Shadow Moses. He who submits to heaven shall live. He who defies heaven shall perish.
I have to atone for my past, too. Rex is a beast, born from my research. Let's go. Shadow Moses awaits.
Alright, welcome back folks to this Let's Play of Metal Gear Solid 1. In the last part, I made it up the elevator and we saw the Hind D. In this part, I show you possibly one of the quickest ways to get into the nuclear weapon disposal facility. Right there. And none are the wiser.
Everything all right, Snake?
I was having that dream again.
We're here. Shadow Moses. Snake, are you all right?
Yeah, I just slipped a little. Have to hurry. Not much time left.
Meet the Mark III. It's our last replacement, so try not to break it.
Who, me? Never.
One more thing. I don't see anybody around, but there are unmanned sentries patrolling the area. Be careful out there.
Alright, welcome back folks, and now we're dealing with Shadow Moses Island, and now I finally get the best sniper rifle in the game. And it will be used a lot for the rest of this area. What will also be used a lot for this area are actually grenades, as we use stun grenades, chaff grenades, and smoke grenades for later on. However, the important one there is the chaff grenades, as it is the easiest way to get rid of some of these unmanned weapons. That being said, the best way is walking right past them. Because of the snowstorm and the poor visibility, unless you are directly in front of some of these enemies, they won't really be able to spot you very easily. That being said, that one can surprise you with how good he is at seeing you. It's really unfortunate that I run right past here, because the initial moment of like seeing Shadow Moses Island after so long is one of the most wonderful things they've ever built as just like a single moment. So we have to go right through everything. Do not worry, I eventually will collect all of the flashback moments of Shadow Moses Island. Now, I think I actually cut it a bit close there, because right there, if I was a second, like, further back, or I was an inch further back, I would have been spotted. This guy right here, my strategy is actually to shoot him, because you're supposed to so you can run past him faster. But because I was having trouble aiming, I was actually able to just run right past him.
I don't see any enemies around here. Okay, we'll go through the door all the way at the back.
Otacon, last time around we had a few complications and wound up going through the commander's office in the basement.
That's right. I remember now. But there's no need to go all the way down there this time, right? The back door takes us straight where we need to go.
Good point.
Okay then, let's get to the back door.
It's actually really funny that the structure of Metal Gear Solid 1 inherently had things where it was like, yeah, we can't go here.
Huh? Snake, that door is locked.
How do I open it?
Security is shut down altogether. You can't release the lock without activating it. You'll have to log in somewhere. I've got it, Snake. My old office is close by. With the power on, you should be able to unlock the door from there. And if you check the facility records, we can find out Rex's status and who's been in and out. You remember where it is, Snake?
I'm not senile yet.
Just to be safe, I'm marking it on your map. You old geezer. Snake, the password is 48273. Think you can remember that?
I told you, I'm not senile. Yet.
So, there's at least one bit of backtracking we have to do to get back to an old area.
Snake, I've checked the APU on this floor and engaged the generator. Energy output is low, but it should be enough to power the elevator. Try the elevator and see if it's working.
I have no clue how the hell they would be able to activate generators with like 9-year-old fuel. Like, was it Ocelot's unit who did this? Did they just barge in and said, just like, okay, none of these places have a decent amount of power. We have to be able to frickin' go in with gasoline.
Okay, first go down the central hallway. Don't worry, it's not electrified anymore.
I love touches to dialogue like that. Like, yeah, don't worry about that.
Hold on. I want to check security. Snake, that password I told you before, you remember it, right? Because I completely forgot. Can you punch it in for me? It's a 5-digit number. Nice job. At least your memory hasn't gone bad. This version is totally obsolete. It's gonna take a little work. This is the room where we first met, huh?
Yep.
It's not conjuring up any unpleasant memories, is it? I was being attacked by Frank Yeager.
Yeah, I remember.
If you hadn't shown up when you did, it gives me the shivers just thinking about it. Snake, you saved my life.
Naomi hated them for what they did to Frank's body. But it was me that crippled him in the first place. She must have hated me too.
We shouldn't have been so trusting. I blame myself too. I helped develop Rex. That's why it was so easy for me to believe her feelings were genuine. But she was only using us to atone for her sins.
So what? What did she do to us?
You forgot already? She betrayed you. She stole your blood.
If that was all, it should have been over and done with in South America. Why'd she join us afterward?
Well,
She has us come rescue her, and then she turns around and goes straight back to Liquid. Why would she do that?
I don't know, Snake. But it looks like she's still with him.
What?
I just had a look at the security access logs. As I thought, there's people coming and going at frequent intervals. In fact, the record shows some recent activity. Look at this. It's an image taken a few hours ago by a surveillance camera up ahead.
Naomi.
And Vamp.
The Beauty and the Beast.
They've been through here. And from what we've gleaned from the security records, it can only mean one thing. They're headed for Rex's old underground hangar. I finished rebooting security and released the locks. The door on the first floor ought to open for you now.
Amazing. Almost makes me nostalgic for the days when you needed a key card for every door.
Yep. It's been 9 years. All you really have to do is reinterpret the old technology in terms of the new. Getting old isn't all that bad, you know. Let's get going, Snake.
I finished unlocking the door on the first floor. It should open now. Gecko! We've got Gecko!
So there is a specific spot you can shoot. It's like the center of the gecko's head, where if you manage to get an anti-material bullet in there, it kills them in one hit. But it's a bit of a tricky shot, as I'm sure as will be very apparent in this next portion right here. So I was trying to actually like zoom in on just what's going on here. Because I remember that's actually how, like, the old elevators were. They just, like, stayed in absurd zoom in on the, buttons.
Okay, Snake. Take the stairs down and go to the north door. I'll open it for you with the Mark III.
You're supposed to one-hit this guy.
Gecko. The Mark III is totally defenseless while working on the
I fucked that up.
distract the Gecko so they don't.
So I had to hit it 4 times. So unnecessary.
Okay, Snake. It's open now.
Yeah, again, I've never ever seen that ever happen with eggs. Also, I like the idea that Otacon is actually teaching Sunny like multiple languages. In that, as much as like he believes that he's protecting Sunny from the danger of the Patriots, and which may ultimately be the danger of the world, but in bringing her here, it's not as if he's just having her like do nothing. It's like maybe I like the idea of him actually being like her teacher and her father figure. But it's also knowing just like, yeah, probably he's not enough, especially since he has basically no one else to interact with, or she has no one else to interact with.
Satellite orbit.
Of course, his focus goes immediately to her ass.
There's no need to worry about the Patriots intercepting it.
He's trying to get the trifecta, like her legs and both of them in.
What the devil is this?
I'm not sure why he gave it a caution status. Surely it's up to the judgment of the user to detect whether or not it's in a dangerous situation. Unless, of course, it's being damaged.
But Liquid was able to use it as cover to slip inside the system.
I understand that this is supposed to be a lot of information that's being given to players who haven't played MGS2, but it just feels weird to hear Otacon even saying a lot of this stuff. Because it's like, he should really know this.
Somehow recovered. Even the AI threat detection system was fooled.
Yeah, some of this stuff, like, I understand, just like, okay, giving information to players who haven't played MGS2, but in some cases I'm like, the chapter's just fucking finished. Ocelot already explained all this shit.
Rex. You mean Shadow Moses?
Yeah, again, a lot of this stuff is just like, how are they not aware of what's going on literally seconds ago?
Supreme authority still resides with JD, which the Patriots still command.
This is actually really weird to me, how much Campbell knows, despite the fact that, by his own admission, he's not a colonel anymore. Although, actually, I would like the idea that, like, everyone who used to be from Shadow Moses is, like, still connected in some way. That somehow Colonel figured out, like, or, like, Colonel somehow heard the information through somebody else.
Good question. Rex's railgun can launch a stealth nuclear warhead into space unconstrained by the system.
I'm surprised, like, Otacon didn't fucking talk about this. Like, he fucking barged into their system through hacking.
Liquid's going to use.
Where's Rex now?
I think you know. A long-forgotten base in U.S. territory outside the Patriots' control. The place where Liquid made his debut. His monument.
Yeah, again, this is a bit too hard to be epic. I don't know, I think it would have been more reasonable if he just said, where you left it last time.
We've lost.
It's weird how the character blocking here is so exaggerated here. It's like everyone's getting all curled up in balls. I'm still not sure why the hell like they have nails on Raiden's hands. I would like to point out that all three of the people in this portion of the cutscene have the exact same hair color. And actually, I think Otacon does too.
A slave to someone else's will.
I'm a shadow. One that no light will shine on.
See what I mean about, like, trying really hard to be poetic? I don't know, maybe some of this stuff worked better in Japanese. Because, like, the Japanese voice actor for Snake does sound like an old poet.
It was never going to work out for me. It even rained the day I was born.
Yeah, lines like this make me, like, really wonder hard. It's like, how was Raiden whiny in MGS2 by comparison? Where, genuinely, he had no fucking clue what was going on, so him freaking out at least made sense. As opposed to here, where it's just like, I'm very, very sad.
I have always been alone. Always.
See, Rose, this is what happens when you start yelling at people just because their rooms are fucking empty.
This is my fight. My destiny.
This seems just like a very common thing in Japanese games. Like, I was recently playing Final Fantasy X, and it's like one of the most obnoxious lines in the entire fucking game that everybody says like 6,000 times is, "This is my story." I don't know, there's some like weird like cultural need to just like proclaim a sense of importance to what's going on. Seems quite unnecessary here, really. Return of Mei Ling.
The sea line is rising due to global warming. Have you heard that the entire Fox archipelago is about to slip into the ocean? The surrounding islands have already been evacuated.
I actually have to wonder, like, the actual state of the islands in Alaska. But then again, it's supposed to be implied that the CO2 in this world is supposed to be a lot higher because of such, like, ridiculously constant warfare.
And what about Rex?
Rex and the nuke should still be where they were 9 years ago. Untouched.
Funny thing is, I actually think Mei Ling is probably one of the better ones about, like, making her dialogue seem natural.
More like a forgotten island.
Like, even right there, like, she probably... It's actually really funny that she's not going into rambling poetic shit, considering her gimmick in the game was that she had rambling poetic shit at the end of every single save section.
But I'll be backing you up from aboard the Missouri.
The Missouri.
She's the only ship in the fleet still able to move, since it was decommissioned before the system was put in place.
I actually get the impression with the way this was done that Guns of the Patriots was supposed to come out probably in 2007, but was delayed to 2008. Oh yeah, because of that, MGS4 was released 10 years after Metal Gear Solid 1, even though timeline-wise it's supposed to be 9. Actually, this is further backed up by Metal Gear Solid 2. I believe its original release date... No, its original release date was not 2002, it was 2001.
Shadow Moses awaits.
That is the single cringiest fucking attempt at being poetic I've seen in the game so far in rewatching all the cutscenes. It's weird because it feels almost like in context it's also supposed to be cringy.
Everything all right, Snake?
That bit of a flashback is actually kind of a cool thing. It's just weird because, like, I cut out all the loading times between cutscenes. I think what actually happens is it goes to a PlayStation 1 emulator, which obviously PS3 can do. And, like, the reason that's weird is because it's, like, it means that there's, like, 20 seconds of loading in between, the cutscenes. I know this actually does fit as a title, but it's weird. But I'm like, was this a reference to Twin Snakes? Oh, but then again, I guess in general, like Twin Snakes is a reference to the two lead, or the two most important characters.
Snake, are you all right?
Yeah, I just slipped a little.
The idea of Snake's body like being worn down and more broken down, like, and displaying it in cutscenes is like, it's a good idea in theory, but I've always found like it just seems like it makes him look so goofy. Like it's almost like pratfalls.
Hold on. I want to check security.
Unless power's been on for just forever, I'm really not sure like why security would ever be checked. Or like maintained as like cameras or anything. I like to think the idea of, or I like to think that Snake tipping over the Mark III was actually an attempt to stop him from stopping Snake. Because he figured, he's like, oh yeah, Otacon will probably stop that. Okay, so during this cutscene, I get it correct. But the thing is, there's a couple of things you can put in. One gives you like 100,000 GMP, and 3 other codes putting in will actually get you like music tracks, but they will all give you a wrong answer cutscene.
This version is totally obsolete. It's gonna take a little work.
Of how the Police Knots poster is just still there this whole time. Fucking hell, did he nail those things in?
This is the room where we first met, huh?
And that Zone of the Enders poster, it is not there in the PlayStation 1 game for obvious reasons. However, it is there in the GameCube remake. Sadly, there's no doll of Yoshi and Mario still in the room, and there's no GameCube left here.
Gives me the shivers just thinking about it. Snake?
Yeah, that's so weird. Like, think about like how separate his robot and his like fucking the robot's actions are from his like physical actions. Like, did he physically do that joystick thing? Just like, oh, I should do this because I feel jittery.
But she was only using us to atone for her sins.
I'm not sure like how this is for atoning for her sins. It's just like shouldn't it be like for her own gains? Or for we were her means to like her means to her end.
And from what we've gleaned from the security records, it can only mean one thing. They're headed for Rex's old underground hangar.
Shouldn't it just be visible from the fact that that's the tunnel right before the Rex's underground hangar? And at 10:17, we have our Grunt of the Night. Snake has a bit of a coughing fit, and right before it gets really bad, he goes... Thanks for watching. Join me next time when we encounter Crying Wolf and make our way through the blast furnace to get to Rex. See you guys then.